Hey everybody, it's another great Wednesday here in Atlanta. We got chilly weather, not as cold as it has been. It's actually 40 degrees today. Other mornings this week it's been like 20 degrees. I don't know what it is out there where you are. I've been staying inside for the most part, venturing outside here and there. I don't know why this week I didn't go for my winter walk because at least one day last week I went outside and got the brisk, fresh air on my skin. I guess I've actually been, oh my goodness, it's so much better today because for the past couple of weeks I've had this throat thing going on and so much phlegm and cold has been coming up, and I identify it as another spiritual upgrade because I didn't have sneezing, coughing, none of that stuff. It's like something was sitting in my throat. Hence, this is why we get on here to speak of these topics because we need to heal our throat, our speaking, our communications, and that's why we're here, beautiful people. Welcome to another edition of Healing is War. On this podcast, we discuss the shadows, the dark side of beginning your spiritual or your healing journey. We do not stray away from dark conversations. This is actually based on my book, Healing is for Warriors, Not Wimps. It is available for purchase. I encourage you to get your copy because these were downloads on each segment. We delve into a specific topic you may encounter or you may be facing right now. Today is Sex Demon Let Go. Okay, what the heck is this? Today I had a sex demon in the past. We're going to outline 8 steps I took to release, to heal my sexuality, my sensuality, my sex life, my view of what sex is, my view of what love is. I had to go through a process. I had to go through some darkness. I had to go through some rough spots. Firstly, identify the demon. That was the first thing I had to do. The demon was, and here I want to discuss because in class this week, we wrapped up our Heart Alchemy course. It was the fourth week of the course, and the fourth week is all about rewriting your love story. My demon was built on my parents splitting up and my dad not being there close to me. So there was always this longing, this desire, this lust, this just like overwhelming thing. I want a man in my life. I want to be around men. I need love from a man. That was the demon for me. I even I recall as in middle school and high school, like having these deep crushes on guys. One of them was eighth grade, this guy named Randy. He actually passed after our eighth grade year, but I had the largest crush on him. And yes, as an eighth grader, we're experiencing these feelings for the opposite sex, all of this stuff. But for me, I felt like it was this overwhelming thing because my dad was not there in the physical. Yes, there was still an attachment to me and my siblings, but he was not there. And it festered this lust. Let's just call it what it is. It festered this, I need it, I need it, I need it. Because it's the same way we treat money, it's the same way we treat love. I want that relationship so bad. Like, I need it, I need it, I need it right now. Like, seafood is one of the things I love. But because I've had seafood and I've enjoyed it and I know I can get it anytime, I'm okay with it. I'm okay waiting until the next time I get the seafood boil. It was not like this with this demon. It was I wanted who's my new crush interest, and I dared not to tell any of them either because this continued until high school. I recall I was working for the lady at my church. I I love her dearly. I kind of call her my second mom. Was working for her company cleaning houses when I was 14, 15, 16 years old. And there was one young man who lived at one of the houses. I had a crush on him too. Like I'm telling you, I was just, there was this longing, this sexual desire. I want to be kissed. I want to be hugged. I want to be loved. That's where it was stemming from me because I did not receive that from my father. That was step one. How do you identify with my story? What's your love history, your sexual history? How were you introduced to your sexuality? Number two, release the guilt and shame. I mentioned this in the first step. I never told any of these men I had a crush on them. Plus, there was this other thing. I distinctly remember this. I discovered some pornography magazines in our home, and this was our uncle was living there, and it started me into this. I had already was in touch with myself, but it started me into the cycles of masturbation and longing for it, and it was not coming from a good place. It was, but it wasn't. So you can imagine now the levels of guilt and shame are compounded because I'm like, what is up with these feelings? I distinctly remember, and I've said this on this podcast previously when we had Desiree D. Ray on speaking about embodying Ma'at. I had a lot of guilt and shame around this. I shouldn't be touching myself. I'm a Christian. They said no sex before marriage. You shouldn't be having those inklings, those things about your body or even about boys, about men. It was so much guilt, so much shame. And what happens when we feel shame and guilt? We hide. We tend to hide from ourselves. We hide from other people. We hide our feelings. And the hiding happens because we start to believe these things about ourselves that I'm dirty, I'm unworthy, I shouldn't be doing this, it's wrong to love, it's wrong to have sexual feelings. And then it starts being harbored in all kinds of places in your body as well. I'll talk about that more later, like what I started to feel as I got into my 20s and my 30s. I didn't know. I didn't know the guilt and shame was resting in my limbs. It wasn't until learning more about the human body, becoming a massage therapist, getting massages myself, being an expert at massage with thousands of clients in my business, I saw my own guilt. I saw my own shame. This led into step number three, like how I released, how I let this sex demon go. It surrounds my virginity story. There was a lot going on. I stayed a virgin in the truest sense because I had not engaged in sex with a man. Y'all might be like, well, he won't know man. Whatever you want to say, you're a man as long as you have the ability to. No, let me not say that. I will say this. You are a man when you are a teenager. This is not to say you are completely taking care of yourself. You can completely take care of a girlfriend, a wife, none of that stuff. But I'm just saying this was a man. I had not engaged in sex until I was 22. I wanted to, but Me being the pure, pristine Christian that I was, there was no way I was going to venture into that. Plus, the guilt, the shame prevented me from doing it because I would be banned or shunned. Oh my gosh, I can't believe Elmira had sex. Whoa. Like, think about that. Think about how you felt before you lost your virginity. Was there some darkness around it? Was there some shame around it? Or did you step into that willingly, gleefully, joyfully? Let me give you a little tidbits about my story. And I may share the whole thing because it's somewhere here on YouTube. I It's an unlisted video. I've shared it with a couple of people. But due to my demon, I traveled as a college student, college senior. I traveled on a Greyhound bus by myself from Blacksburg, Virginia to Baltimore. Y'all know Baltimore. Y'all know what Baltimore is. Y'all already know. I traveled there to see this guy I met online. Now, granted, he had already been to my school, Virginia Tech, to see me. But now I was like, I want to go there. I want to give myself to him. I don't know why this reminds me of that gospel song, Give Myself Away. That's what I was feeling in the moment because I wanted to experience this, my sexuality, and share intimate moments with another human being. I went up there, I lost my virginity. Get this, he abandoned me. After I gave him the sex, he was gone, nowhere to be found. I had to contact my family in Richmond. They didn't know I was up there in Baltimore. I had to contact them and say, I'm heartbroken, broken. I'm distraught. Come pick me up. I'm gonna divert my bus because I was gonna go back to school because I thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna go up there, lose my virginity. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be wonderful. I'm gonna come back to school so happy. That was not the case. I had to go home, unhappy, distraught, all the things. It I needed, now looking back, I can say, and some people in the spiritual community, some people will say, oh, you shouldn't have to go through these hard times, these burdens to see what this means for you. Well, I can say I did need to go through that virginity situation to fully understand me, to fully understand love, to fully understand sexuality. It took me months to get over him, to release him. And I distinctly remember the day I woke up and it was like, ah, I felt more alive. I felt the weight lifted from my body. I know this to be true too because when I'm working with clients, talking to them about breakup grief, heartbreak, there is like this weight over you, but one day you will have a shift. You will have this quantum leap and it'll just be like, yes, I'm over that. That was the step I needed, was to that was thirdly, looking at my virginity. How did this initial engagement in sex with another individual speak to my demon, heal that demon, help me to see another layer of who I am at the core. Four, number four, detach from the old love story and detach from my dad because my dad was central to my old love story. I wanted to get, that's how I ended up with this dude I lost my virginity to. Because let me tell you about him. He was a musician, just like my dad. So I was like, oh, I'm falling in love with my dad. I'm rekindling what I didn't have with my dad. So I just thought that much more of it. Because this guy was like my dad. My first boyfriend, matter of fact, had the same name as my dad. You can't get no deeper than that. Deeper and darker into the shadows. I had to detach from this old love story that the only type of man, the only type of person, the only type, you fill in the blanks for yourself because this is healing is war. You should be finding out from my story, what can you glean? This is not just about Elmira. This is not just about me. It's not just about what I wrote in the book. This is you. This is what you can feel, what you can learn. All right, so I had to detach from that old love story. My love story was built on my parents broke up. I can't see my dad. I only love musicians. I only love artists. I'm only going to date artists. That's what I thought as a teenager, as a 20 something. And it's what I did until I woke up and started to do the healing on myself to identify, see, what is this? The reason I wanted love in those arenas was because I was searching for something I didn't have. I had to detach from that old story. Many times, grief, heartbreak, longing, lust will make you think the only thing you can have is over here. The only type of love you can have is in this box, is in this type of person. It's all lies. There's so much love in the world. It's so much love in the world. That's why, and I'll put an invitation under this episode too. I'm leading an activation in January called Rise in Love 2026. It's for all you healers, coaches, leaders, educators to rise in love this year and going forward. Because that's what we do. We have to rise in love. We have to understand what is it I need to release? What is it I need to detach from? Recognize, acknowledge. This is not me. Yes, this is a story which happened to me, but it is not the core of me. It's not my soul. I was able to see that. I was able to see, oh, this is just my soul's experience in this lifetime of this battered child who was abandoned, who felt rejected by her dad and her mom, but more by the dad at first because he wasn't physically there. I detached from that old love story. Five, acknowledge the demon. Okay. Acknowledging the demon came in. This was really after I broke up with my first real boyfriend. I would not call the guy I lost my virginity to a boyfriend. I dated him. I would have loved for us to have a long term relationship, but I eventually had a long term relationship when I turned 26. We lived together. Again, I said this particular, my ex had the same name as my dad, acknowledging the demon. We eventually broke up. Then I started having all of these sexual dreams. I said, what is this? At first, and this is me because the demon was still there, the lust was still there, the desire, even the desire to get my ex back was remain. Were having sexual dreams over and over, and this demon, I'm just going to call it what it is, would appear as men from my life. Showed up as my ex, showed up as the crush from 8th grade, all the things. And I'm just thinking, I think nothing of it at first because I'm like, I'm missing my ex. I would love to have sex with him. I'm missing those feelings, those hugs, those touches, the intimacy. Then it started happening more and more and more, even when I moved to Nashville and I was there by myself. I would wake up in the middle of the night sometimes with this feeling of somebody over me. I could feel somebody over me. It would even occur at other people's homes. I'm like, what is this? This is when I started to really wake up, acknowledging the demon that was there. I was digging deeper into my own spiritual development, my own self love, when I discovered, oh, these demons, you may have fondly heard them called succubus, incubus, all the things. Some people believe they exist, some don't. I can tell you from experience, they do exist because this demon disguised himself as men I actually love. I was having these encounters multiple times a week. It would happen. I would wake up feeling like I had engaged in intercourse. I'm like, what is this? I had to acknowledge, realize what was really going on with me. This is part of letting go of the sex demon. If you want to know all the details of that particular story, I have that video which I posted years ago on YouTube. I will link it to this podcast episode. That way you can hear the specifics about the sex demon because I shared some more details on that. This episode is about this is about the healing. This is about the pathway to healing, not so much focusing on that. Acknowledging the demon, that was step 5. I had to do that work. Step 6, fasting. Once I knew the demon was there, how was I going to let it go? Now, a lot of this was unintentional. I distinctly recall doing this one fast. I don't know what kind of fast it was because I'm always doing fast. Dry fast, lemonade fast, water fast, social media fast, which I'm on right now. I'm always doing a fast to uplevel myself, to rise, to elevate, to expand. I was on a fast and it was one time in the middle of the night. That's the darkness, y'all. This stuff may not, and it most likely won't occur in the light when the sun is shining. It's going to be dark, 2 a.m., you by yourself, you feeling destitute, and you're like, why me? You're crying out to God. But in the middle of the night, I felt the demon release. It was then I knew the hold that demon had over me. It was similar to how I felt the guy I lost my virginity to release off of me. There was a heaviness in my body, but that demon left me then because I started to shine light on it. I said, no, 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 you can't live here. There ain't no space for you. And it was through the fasting, it was through taking a break from food, taking a break from sex, taking a break from whatever it was, social media, taking a break from people, from talking. I've done that too. I've done a silent fast where I don't speak. When you take a break, and this is something you need to do to heal your sexual trauma, whatever your personal story is, do a fast. Some type of fast is going to reveal and uncover what's actually going on with you. Why do you always have this overwhelming lust, this overwhelming desire? Even in your current relationship, which is healthy, it's not as healthy as you would like it to be because you're always looking at porn, or you're always desiring other men, you're always desiring other women instead of your partner. There's nothing wrong with being attracted, but when we are overtaken by a sexual demon, we are overtaken by lust, it gets in the way of your truest nature, your true creativity. I hear the great B. Dell talk about this all the time. You need to look him up. He's always speaking on especially to men. He's speaking to men about preserving your seed, not being out here wanting to run up in every woman you see, not always wanting to have sex. This comes with fasting. This comes from letting go of those desires and not being so keen on, I need it right now. I need it. I need it. I need it. Nothing works like that. When you have that longing, I call it lust, because this could be occurring, messing with your wealth, messing with your health, messing with your money, messing with your business, messing with your relationships, because you have this attachment to it's like a crack addict. It's an addiction. You can cure the addiction with a fast. Now you may say, "Oh, I don't have an addiction because it's not that bad." You know how bad it is. You can feel it in your heart. You can sense it in your soul. You got to be honest with yourself. Go into the darkness, the crevices, the closet, and really analyze. Hmm, maybe my relationship with sex and sexuality and my own love is not where I want it to be. Fast. Allow God to speak to you. Allow the Most High to speak through you in a new way when you're on that fast. Step 7. I had to accept my own sensuality and sexuality. I had to accept that I am sexy. I'm not, oh, I got to cover up my shoulders or I can't show my cleavage or none of that stuff they used to tell me in church or what I felt from church. Some of this stuff is not explicit, it's what we learn growing up. Our love story from our parents, the grandparents, the people around you, people at school, friends, all the things. You got to accept who you truly are. Accept your body the way it is shaped. Some women are ashamed of their big breast or their big hips or no hips. It could be anything. You don't want to express your sexuality because it got you in trouble. Or you feel like your body at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 was what got you abused by that man. That's not true. Or abused by that woman. It's not true. After you do the fast and you work with specialists, I encourage this too. Don't just take these steps as the end all be all. You may need to consult a trauma specialist if your sexual trauma goes that deep. You got to understand who you are as a sensual sexual being because sexuality is creative energy. It's not just, oh, I'm being intimate with this other person or I'm learning my body. That's the core of your creative energy. I learned this more as a massage therapist, plus being in Sacred Woman when I went through that program with Queen Afua, how the sexual energy rises from your sacral, from your root. It's in that sacral chakra. Breathe into it right now. Touch right below your belly button. That's your truest sexual energy. Nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can say it's dirty. It's you shouldn't express it. You shouldn't use it. Some of us are misusing it because we only use our sexual energy for sex. We don't use it to create music, to create art, to start a business, to create a child. All of these things are creative energy. I accepted who I am. I had to accept I am sexy. I do have luscious lips. I love my body. I love my skin. I love the way I can dance and flow. This is not something for me to be ashamed of. Plus, this is not just for men. This is for me. My sensuality, because that's what it says. Sensuality is all of your senses: the taste, the touch, the hearing, the feel, the smell, seeing, visionary. That nature, the energy is for you too. I accepted that part of me through recognizing who I am and who I've always been since a little girl, who I came into this earth as, and not getting caught up in the shame of losing my virginity, the guilt around it. It's just all the stuff we get trapped in. You got to accept who you really are. Number 8, I wrote a new love story. I put me first. I put my desires first, not placing it on this man. Oh, once I fall in love, once I get in a relationship, I'll be able to experience beautiful touch. No, touch yourself. It starts with you. Feel your body right now. Caress yourself. You got to reclaim your creative energy. When you feel that desire, is not a signal, a message to, oh, I got to go out and call my situationship, my sex buddy. No, it might be, oh, this is the time for me to create that song. Oh, this is the time for me to breathe, create that meditation, to start that podcast, to make a dress, to create the app, to make that new dish. Sexual energy is not just for sex. That's how I let go of the demon, because began to realize it's not just for sex. I mentioned Sacred Woman before. My new love story was rooted in the experience, the healing I had during Sacred Woman. Queen Afua has us select a gateway to ascend in. I chose the gateway of Best, which is all about movement, dance. Plus, Best is based off of the sacral chakra, the color orange. Yes, you know, those of you who already know. That's orange. That's Best. Super healing for me. I remember in our ascension ceremony, I put names on the paper. I'm just going to demo it right here, of all the men who I felt like were still stuck in my womb. And I threw their names. I was like, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. Because just what you got to do, you got to do some type of physical release. You can't think your way through any of this stuff. Anything we talk about here on Healing is War. It's not, oh, I did one meditation about it, now it's gone. No, you got to get into your body. You got to activate things, because there was a position, I think, I can't remember what you call that position in yoga, but it's where your heart is open and you lean back. That was the position I took during our play. We did a play for Extension. In my group, we had to do all these things, but that was me rewriting my new love story, releasing the old and inviting in the new. What is life like now? My life now with my current boyfriend is so much better, because I rediscovered myself years ago before I even got with him. And now our relationship intimacy wise is that much more richer. There's not this overwhelming desire like, oh, he doesn't love me if we don't have sex 8 times a week, because it's not true. Your sexuality, your sensuality, your creativity is not in the numbers. Let me say that again. It's not in the numbers. We in this Western culture have been taught the wrong things about desire. It's about the depth, not the quantity. We think something is wrong with our relationship because, oh my goodness, we're not having sex 2 times a day. It's not, it's because your creative energy, your sexual energy may be being used in other ways. And it's because your relationship has learned to transition beyond just the physical. I can say that's where I am right now. I knew that when I met Terrence, we have a very spiritual connection. Yes, we have a physical connection as well. There's that chemistry there. However, as we proceed, as we proceed, y'all know that the songs keep coming up. As we proceed in our relationship, as we elevate, as we rise, as we grow, is so much more to our relationship than just this bang 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 sex. And that goes to show you being overtaken by a demon if you believe that's the only type of sexuality you possess, is this fire and desire, like Rick James and Tina Marie talked about in their song. That's not it. Yes, that is it. We should be willing to possess all the things, the fire and desire, the tantric, the loving romance, the hugging, the holding, the talking. This is all what I'm able to experience now because I release those sex demons. Every time on this podcast, those are the 8 steps. I give you soul work. What is going to be your soul work today? I'm going to leave you with 3 things, and there are 3 elements of these 8 steps of my journey. This is what you need to do this week for yourself. Number 1, identify the demon. Is there something holding you back when it comes to your sexuality? Identify it, name it, claim it. I'm going to go back to something what Cecilia was saying on our last episode about the triggers. You have to speak it out loud and say, this is it. This is the demon. I've been experiencing this. That's number 1, soul work. Number 2, decide a day for your fast. This could simply be today. I'm speaking to somebody right here. Today, this 24-hour period, I'm fasting from pornography. This 24-hour period, I'm fasting from sex. This 7-day period, say what you're going to do in terms of your fast. That's your soul work. And then number 3, rewrite your love story. That's your number 3 part of your soul work. Because after you've done step 1 and step 2, you will be able to rewrite your love story in the form of a journal entry, a poem, a dance, a song. You may even change your dating profile because because of the work you've done. You'll be able to see, oh my goodness, I didn't realize sex was overtaking my life that much. Nothing. And let me say this here. There should not be one thing that takes over your life more than you and your soul's calling. So many of us are overtaken by television, by food, by sex. All of these external things should not be taking over the majority of your time, where you ignore what you came here to do because you're so possessed. Let me just call it what it is. You're so possessed with the demons. Because your demon may not be sex, but it's something else that you're lusting after. That has been today's episode. Remember, your soul is calling you to greatness. Be a soldier. You are ready for war. We will see you next time on for more healing, for more growth. Oh, I will also let you know again, my book is available. Multiple books are available, not just Healing is for Warriors, Not Wimps. I have my book, Self Care After Loss. Go to payhip.com/self care boss. You can purchase any of my books. I have a poetry book called Steamy. It's some poems, just some romantic, zesty poems. You can get into that. Those books are available. Plus, you are invited to our Rise in Love event. It is open. It is open to people all over the world. You are this person who are saying, I want to rise in love. I don't want to push. I don't want to force. I want more love in my life. I want to lead my business with love. I want to lead my relationship with love. I want to lead people with love, my clients, whoever I'm coming into. Go to bit.ly/rise in love 2026 and you can secure your ticket for January the 10th. We're doing that activation event on January the 10th, that Saturday 2-hour event. I have someone coming, an energy healer will be there to give us a charge, a visualization. It's going to be a beautiful event. It's all about rising in love. We will be moving, really just saying, we're here on this new earth. We're here on this path together, not separately. We're rising in love. We're not saying, oh, because you're black, you're white, you're a woman, you're a man, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, you live in this country, you live in the UK. I can't talk to you because you're Kenyan. Oh my gosh, you're Caucasian. I don't like you. Your ancestors did this to me. I hate the colonists. We're not doing that anymore. All the division is done. That was done this year. It's been done previously. But if you are a spiritual being and you know that your soul has been called to greatness, you are supposed to be at this event. Rise in Love 2026, where we activate love all over the world. I will see you all. When will I see you? When will I see you again? Everything's a song. We will not be here next week because it's Christmas Eve. However, we have a special show on New Year's Eve. You don't want to miss that. Next week, there will be a rebroadcast of some of our earlier shows. Peace, everybody. See you next